Hello everyone, and welcome to a little bit of Space Engineers. In the past few days, I was playing on a community server called Space Citizen. It's an interesting server based on economy, small grid ships, and restriction to high-level materials. So normally like platinum and gold are not appearing anywhere in the system, but there are events where you can acquire them, and you can perhaps find them in some random containers occasionally. This server has a couple of mods, and I just started playing on it recently. I have a bit of a different play style than the others, I guess, even though I was meant that I should not drive large grid ships. I couldn't break habit of my salvaging, so here we are. Perhaps it's not the best time to showcase my residence. I built the bottom section, I stole the top section, and these were basically pirate drone stations. If you're familiar with the base game, you know that these can spawn randomly. And they have some basic thrusters, so after you claim them, you can basically drive them home. Technically, you are allowed to have large grid bases, so I converted this one to a base, and that's basically the base of my operations. And then later on I found another one, so I made a sister tower for the original one. Right, let me have some lights here. It's a very basic structure. It was meant to be creating drones, but after I captured it, I was able to no, sorry for that. I was able to drive it to my asteroid. I just found this random asteroid. There are basic clusters of asteroids where you start out. I am at Zeta cluster, and when you are joining this server, you can choose between two fractions, and you are spawned in their fraction bases, I guess. That's how you get your basic tools and the basic ship. This one is one of the starter ships that they are giving you when you are starting in with that fraction. And it's just a basic starter ship. You're probably familiar with the design or similarities. It has a O2 gen cargo containers survival kit, and it takes you from A to B. But yeah, it's good. I already talked about the cluster, so you can settle on any asteroids, but a couple of things are missing from your craft menu. For example, there are no jump drives in it. They replaced them with this frameshift drive, which they directly stole from Elite Dangerous. I've not yet get to the level where I was able to have this, because as you see, it needs 3000 superconductors, and I think the small grid variants, yeah, it needs also like 1000, and you need gold to craft superconductors, or in my case, steal it. One of these stations that can spawn is usually spawning with 200 of these superconductors in one of the cargo containers. So I already have nearly 400, a third of a way there to my first jump drive. And normally you're supposed to travel somewhere and then have an event, and then you can mine gold there or get gold another way. I've actually not participated in any of the events yet, but yeah, maybe I will try out one or two. So the concept of this server is that it's building on economy. you're supposed to do economy quests, economy missions, sort of. You're supposed to trade, gather your credits, and from credits you should be able to get licenses. Give me 1 second, I will put down my stuff because we are gonna fast travel. I wanted to show you another base and a station where you can get like licenses. I have not fully figured out yet how those things work. Hold on, I think it's one of these. I know I've been to that northern shipyard and there's nothing there. It's just like some sort of like a shipyard, but there are no terminals there. You cannot buy your new ship there, as far as I can tell. There are only a handful of people are playing at the moment. I only seen like 3 other people besides me, but I thought it's an interesting concept. I wanted to try out what can I accomplish with small grids, but to be honest, I'm not particularly good with small grids. I never actually built with small grids. I built one ship now, which I will show you a bit later. I just wanted to show you this one, and I will show you the shipyard, and I will show you, probably show you Tech Station as well, because he is also one of the guys who are playing on this server. I leave a link to his Twitter account down under this video, so you can also check out his channel and whatever he's producing. He's currently playing Space Engineers and Subnautica, so a lot of fun. Oh, there is the station. I wanted to go there and just show you the terminal where I can buy licenses. Basically, you cannot normally have a large grid ship unless you are just driving it to be, you know, salvaged, which I was doing. Normally, if you want to have a station or you want to have a large grid ship, then you need to go to one of these space stations, NPC space stations, at least I think it's NPC station. And when you go in here, you will see a bunch of terminals, and one of them is the store terminal, and you can get licensed for a large grid ship. It's 53 million credits. I've not yet figured out yet what this explorer ship classification is, or what, how these licenses work, because technically you can drive a large grid ship, and I have not yet seen an admin, but probably there are 1 or 2 of them around occasionally, and they can, you know, delete your ship if you are trying to build or drive something like a large grid. And yeah, you should be able to sell your stuff. I have not yet seen a station where you could get missions. Maybe I was just, you know, not paying attention and it's here somewhere, but I couldn't find it. There was only a residence up there. I have not seen any terminals where you could pick up missions. But you know, there are other stations as well. I've only seen this one. This is the closest to where I live. And you know, people are here and they are doing stuff, and I guess the first goal you can work towards is trying to establish a base, trying to create your own asteroid, more or less. Make sure you have the resources that you need to build eventually. I wanted to fly here. I saw this marker here, so somebody already built on this asteroid. I wanted to check out what they built. They built it right in the hollow of this asteroid. Oh, there's something like a stealth drive here as well, so you can basically have a ship that can sneak past enemy lines. Technically, they mentioned that they have PvP events as well. I've not seen that yet. I've not actually seen anybody I could be doing PvP with. But you know, that happens. That could happen. I don't actually. I'm not particularly sure if that's what that retake station is. Give me 1 second. I think he's in data cluster. Yeah, that's data cluster. So I guess that will be the station where he is. And he was the one who suggested me this server, and to come check it out if I want to. And I kind of stuck here trying to engineer my way around the rules. I think so far I managed to break all of them. I was driving large grid ships, I was establishing large bases. As you probably noticed, there isn't many mods here, so this is pretty vanilla. There are a couple of mods, but no NPC mods. Nothing that would add a bit more life back to the environment, like no possum ships. I have not seen any ground stations or anything. And of course all the planets are like a million miles away, so it would take like literal hours to get there without the jump drive. So yeah, you're first stuck in this cluster of asteroids, and your first goal, I guess, is to eventually get to one of the planets, or there's a moon next to that planet somewhere, I guess. That one there. So you can build your stuff, and they encourage small grid mainly because, you know, everything else requires a license if you would do it right. Not like me. Alright, I'm not sure if this is... Yeah, this is a public station, but yeah. It's green to me because we are actually in the same slow down. Yeah, I forgot to mention that they added some more speed to it, so I think your maximum speed is around 160 or 170 something. So yeah, slowing down and starting to travel is a bit different than from vanilla. He built this public station here, which is cool. Let me steal his energy. And he also started working on another ship here, a mega small grid ship. I wonder how this one will turn out. And I think this was meant to be a project for later on, I guess. I think this is one of his utility ships. Oh jeez, what an ugly ship. I mean, not ugly, just, you know, different. You see, he built it with no wings at all. Even though I know that wings are not necessary in space, it's still a bit strange to me to see ships without any wings. Let me see if we can go in here. Access denied! Dude! Let me see if we can just peek in here. Yeah, I see with his dusty base here with guest quarters. He just forgot to give me permission to roam inside there. Yeah, so this was his place. Let me drive back to mine. He also has a pride and joy of a small fighter, but I have not seen that one yet. Probably it's in one of his hangars. But yeah, maybe next time when he will be on, he should be able to showcase it. Yeah, they also added the mode that is basically a custom hinge that rotates your solar panels towards the sun all the time, and you don't need any scripts or anything for it. You just build it in, and you can have this solar generating pack. I've not built that either because I'm a filthy thief and everything I own I stole most of the time. It's a very chill server. The most traffic I have seen was from NPC Pirates, and they were not much of a challenge. Just wanted to showcase and show this to you just in case you are interested in it. I will show you the ship that I was building, my only small grid ship that I think turned out okay. Not perfect, but it's good for my purposes. I built that so I can, have a multi-purpose ship, so I can either build another one of it with a different tool, or I can just, swap the tool on the existing ones. But yeah, most of my stuff that I have here is taken from pirates, and occasionally you see Mayday signals. I stole all of those, and that's about it. I see something glittering there, and you see this 1 pixel of glitter. That usually means there's a ship there. Occasionally you can find small grid drone ships. I wish there would be more NPC ships on this server. I'm not feeling satisfied with the current level of salvaging I do. I want to salvage more. Alright, so we are arriving back to my asteroid. I marked a couple of things around, like where is iron, nickel, cobalt, and I found ice here as well, so I need to get to that one. Oh, I'm on the other side actually. As you see, it has realistic sky, so everything is significantly more darker than what you would imagine. Yeah, this is my latest acquisition that I stole yesterday. It was a Mayday signal of a ship. I still need to grind it down. I've grinded down one like this yesterday, but after that shortly I found another one, and it had a lot of iron in its containers and nothing else. But I usually get superconductors from something on this ship, I'm not particularly sure what. I also tend to steal the batteries and the tanks from it. I already have like 3 full tank of gas and a bunch of materials. Let me quickly show you how much I have. Yeah, like tens of thousands of some stuff. I have a ton of steel, 31,000. Couple of missiles that I can probably disassemble for platinum. That sort of things. And yeah, that's where I am at the moment. I am just gathering materials. I built this pit. You already saw the top section. That was the only pressurized room in the base, and I guess the other side as well, but I don't really use that one. I plan to have this as a sort of an disassembly parking lot at the top. I plan the bottom section here as a grinding pit and a welding pit. You can just simply come here, press a button. I added that custom made, and then it will switch on the welders. I added some indication sparks, so you will see that when it's under current. Yeah, so it's good. I switched it off for now. I found another starter ship, probably somebody just abandoned theirs, so I reappropriated it. I found this small drone, and that I used for like small tasks, like grabbing stuff and moving things around, and I also put 2 big guns on it. After I put the two guns on it, this was no longer working as I intended. It is leaning to one direction, it's not of the gyros. Weird. I found this ship like yesterday morning, and I modified. This is also one of the pirate encounters. And it says the guy was running out of energy and had to park on an asteroid hoping for rescue, which I guess never came. It had a reactor which is cool and already had 10 kilos of uranium. Yeah, actually you can get uranium either from asteroids. You're supposed to buy it from events or from vendor, but you know, if you get these encounters, they usually come with a little bit of uranium. So I have around 20 kilos of uranium at the moment to power my base and everything else here. And I immediately built another one of it just because this small grid ship, it has components under there somewhere in the armor, and I didn't want it to take it apart just to make it completely mine. It was significantly easier to just plop a projector there and pull out a printed version which is completely under my control. Yeah, so that's why I was building it. But you need to be careful. I wanted to tell you something. If you are doing stuff like this, the server has these rules that garbage and stuff that are floating around is deleted every 3 hours, I think. And then, you know, if your grid has the default name like static grid and it doesn't have a beacon as well, then they delete it as well. So I already printed 2 of this monstrosity, and both of them have been deleted. First time it was deleted because it was named static grid. A second time it was deleted because it was it had, after I printed it, it only had just like one battery, and that one battery went out, and if it's not powered, then of course the beacon is not working as well. So you know, they deleted 2 of these ships of mine. This is the one I made. It was partly made out of another pirate encounter ship, which is this one. I have another one of that which I used as parts. I probably should shred it, but I didn't have the heart. I always want to fix everything. I added large containers of it, and I think it has like 3 large grid, small grid large containers, because this whole ship is a small grid. And I added 2 tanks at the bottom of it, so you know, it can be used as a grinder ship, it can be used as a welder ship, and it can be used as a miner ship as well. I just, you know, need to change the head of it or print another one with a different head. I added this magnetic plate here, and this was meant so I can also tow other ships with it, so it was meant to be a utility ship. I also added this AI enabled turret here, and I tested it yesterday on a small drone. I would be lying if I would say it was successful. It was shooting everywhere, but the little drone I was trying to shoot down with it was still alive and not even the slightest bit harmed. But I guess it can be controlled, so not all bad. It's just, you know, at least it has a gun. And when AI enabled, this can turn around and shoot for targets, but you know, the problem is when both of the targets are moving, then I guess aiming is harder. I also found these are quite common occurrences. No idea why. It's always starting with the grinder on. Let me switch that off. G grinder. Oh, it is connected. Is this? Let me check this one here. Grinder, yeah, and it's starting with on for some strange reason. And even after I switch it off, it still gives me the grinder sound. Yeah, that's the smallest of our problems. I built this monstrosity here, not as a ship, but as a sort of like a siphoning pack. I can connect this to any other ship like the one I was planning to dismantle there, and I can siphon out all the fuel, all the oxygen from it. It has a small reactor, a battery, a beacon, so this will not be deleted, but I cannot really drive this one. I just use that small ship to move this one, attach it to the big ship, siphon out the useful stuff, and then connect it back to my base. So technically I'm not breaking the rules, I'm just kind of bending them. Yeah, and this is the area that I was planning to do something with under here, but as you see it's not finished yet. I have a gravity gen here, connectors, some product placement, my own large medical station, and I also had a TV here where you could watch my favorite YouTube channel, mine. Actually it's just a picture, if you can see, you can even count the number of pixels on it, but I thought it was a funny idea that whoever is coming here can watch my YouTube channel from the couch. Yeah, I was planning to finish this. I'm not sure I can make it airtight basically because I like this big door here, but as you see it is only connected here with no airtightness, so I either need to change these glass windows or do something else with it because that's a large gap there, and of course I need to fill this one out and then I can do some decorations. But yeah, I guess this was it, more or less. I just wanted to give you a quick tour of this server where I was playing for the past few days, and if you liked it I will leave an IP address and port number so you can connect to this server as well and play alongside me and have some creative juice flowing on this server. It might sound a bit boring at first, but you know, if your jam is to just build in peace and maybe occasionally have a different set of rules, trying to challenge yourself for a game where not everything is immediately available, then this might be something that you are interested in. And since it's free, you can join anytime if you are space engineers. I'm pretty sure some of you at least might be interested in trying this out. Nothing else, was just to, you know, check out my awesome base or build your own. But yeah, that was it. Thank you very much for checking out this video, and have a fantastic day everyone. Bye bye.